Hi there, everyone. So it's Thursday evening, and I just wrapped up my fourth day of teaching. I still have, I think, at least two to go, but that's beside the point. So I wanted to give everyone a few little pointers after having gone through lessons for the past few days. Number one, I want to thank everyone for being patient, and just a reminder to continue to be patient because this is totally uncharted territory for a lot of you. Some of you this week, it was your very first online lesson. Others, we've done online lessons before if you've been sick or can't get a ride, but then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's exclusively online. So just be patient with it. The other thing is be super patient with the connection because I've heard that they've had to turn down the bandwidth globally to accommodate all the increase in traffic. And I've actually also heard people say that internet has crashed in certain areas because of all the traffic. So be patient with that. If you have not checked the speed test on your internet at home, I would suggest doing that. And that was a document that I think got emailed out to everybody in terms of setting up for online lessons. You want to double check that your upload speed and your download speed are both about 5 megabytes per second, I think is what it is. You can still do a lesson online if it doesn't happen to be at 5 or above, but that is what's going to impact the connectivity, meaning you're probably going to have calls dropped or the video is going to lag or there will be breakups in the connection. So ideally we really want to see 5 for upload and download, but if it's not that, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. If you're thinking that as we go forward with this, because again, we don't know how long this is going to last, if it's something that becomes a bit of a nuisance, you may want to look at upgrading your internet if that's something that you want to. Otherwise, I would just say we can just continue to make it work and we'll make it work. And I don't want it to sound like you have to go get upgraded internet, but just keep that in mind. The other thing though is because of things like the connection getting dropped, sometimes it makes it really difficult for us to get through all the material we need to get through. And also because it's online, it also makes it difficult for me to check 2 students at once. So for my piano lab students, I've in the past, like in present, I can usually listen to 2 of them or check 2 of them simultaneously, and I can't do that anymore for obvious reasons because anyway. But because of that, it also makes it so that sometimes we don't get through as much material as we are accustomed to getting through when we've done in-person lessons. So because of that, and because of connection issues, potential ones, I wanted to kind of give everyone a walkthrough about how you can get a recording to me during the week. So let's say, for example, there's stuff that I didn't hear that you think is passable and you'd like me to hear it, you can send me a recording of it. Or if there was something that you were playing for me during your lesson and the connection kept breaking up and you're like, I really know how to play that repeatedly, without any errors, but obviously because of the connection, it made it sound worse. So in that instance, I may ask you to send me a recording. So the way that you do that is you can do it through the Tonara app. It's actually really, really easy. What you do is you click on the assignment, or you can click on the practice any piece you like. It's option, okay? So I just did that, and it brings up the screen where it's listening to you. And then over here on the left-hand side, there's a little microphone button. If you click on that microphone, you'll notice it's flashing now, and that tells us that it's recording. So it will record and record. And then when you're done playing, what you can do is you can go ahead and hit your pause and your finish again. And somehow she got 11 points for that. I will see if I can edit that, but you didn't need to see that. So then what you do is this brings you back to this screen, and you see at the top it's to do and then media. If you click on media, it will bring up these recordings, and you can delete them obviously, but then you would click on the one that you want. And then down here at the bottom, there's that this is the share icon right here. I don't know if it's actually called the share icon. I imagine it is. I sometimes have told students it's the dot to dot icon because it looks like dot to dot to me. So if you know what that's actually called, if it's the share, let me know. Anyway, you click on that button right there, and it's going to pull up this. It's going to say share with there's me, and then this is the person who answers technical questions. Don't send it to her. But click on me, and then what it will do is it will send me the recording. And you can see that in the messages between us, it's there. And so then that way I can listen to it. This is also a really good option to use if you're playing something during the week and it's not sounding right to you. You can use that recording option to send it to me and say, okay, what's going on here? I'm trying my very best, but this is not sounding right, or what am I doing wrong? So that is an option that I wanted to make everyone aware of. One other little thing is about the assignments. So I've had some questions about this too, and so if you're hearing this again, I apologize. But I had a student recently who asked me about, she said that her points, the number of points that she had, was not matching what was up on the leaderboard. And the leaderboard actually works independently of the points you're accumulating. So your points obviously are here on the left-hand side, and you can see how many points you have, total points, but the leaderboard only pulls points for the past 7 days. And the reason why it does that is because it's designed to make it so that you're more motivated to continue practicing. And obviously it wouldn't be really fair if somebody practiced, for 7 days straight, was up on the leaderboard, but didn't practice like for the next 3 weeks. So that's why it shuffles through 7 days, and Tonara was smart enough to figure that out. I don't know that I would have been smart enough to figure that out. I think I probably would have been like, okay, here we go, we'll just do this. So that's why that's not going to match up. You still have your total points, but the leaderboard is going to change every 7 days. So don't be alarmed if you look at the leaderboard and that doesn't match up with what you're seeing. One other little motivational thing is that I really want students to try to develop a consistent practice habit during this time. Online lessons has a really bad reputation, except up to this point. Obviously that may change, but online lessons have always had a bad reputation in the music world for just not working very well unless you have someone who's like really experienced, really motivated, and is really good about independently practicing. And that's not to say that you can't have like a beginner who's like that too, but it's a lot easier to motivate children in particular when you see them in person every week because there's a connection, and online is a little bit more abstract. So because of that, that's one of the reasons why I went with this app, is because I really wanted to be able to keep everyone more clued into what it was they needed to be doing and what the expectations were, so that they would be better about following through. And then obviously there's the little motivational factors like the leaderboard and the points and stuff, which isn't a big deal. But back to the habit thing. Habit is something that happens every day. And ideally, I would love it if I could get all my students to practice every day, but I realize that that's not always the case, and I'm not going to push that either. But you may want to encourage your child to maybe, if they're not an everyday practicer, to maybe choose one thing off of their assignment list that they could try to do every single day, because if they do the 7 days in a row practice, then I will give them 100 extra points on their score. And there have already been some students that they have done 7 days of practice in a row on a particular assignment, and they've gotten more points. In fact, one of them, she said, she's like, oh, thank you so much. She liked seeing that she got extra points for doing all that and not realizing that she was getting extra points. So now it's out there. Now you know. Anyway, if you have any more questions about the app or whatever, please reach out to me and let me know. I want this to be super successful for your child, as much as it possibly can be given the circumstances. So please let me know if you are having issues or questions or whatever. Anyway, hope you are all doing well, and thanks so much.